Good morning, dear students. In the last lecture, we discussed about natural resources, their definition, as well as the classification. We also discussed about the Earth Overshoot Day, which I hope that all of you have understood nicely. Today, we'll discuss about the forest resources, and in today's topic, we'll discuss about general information related to the Indian forests. Then we'll talk about the major benefits of the forest resources to the human beings. Then we'll talk about some problems which are associated with the forest resources at present. So let's start our today's lecture. Forest is an important resource on this planet because it supports a large variety of plants and animals. A forest is a natural, self-sustaining community characterized by the presence of plants, animals, and different varieties of microorganisms. In India, presently, near about 21% of the land area is covered by the forests, and India has near about 64 million hectares of forest cover. Out of this entire forest cover of India, near about 59% of the forest is declared as dense forest, whereas the 40% is open forest, and only a small fraction of 1% is considered as coastal mangrove forests. So, the major portion of Indian forest is dense and open. Now, we'll talk about the benefits of the forest. The forests provide us large different kinds of direct and indirect benefits, and all the benefits of the forests can be divided into direct benefits and indirect benefits. So, first of all, we'll discuss that what are the direct benefits which the forests provide to all of us. The first direct benefit could be the supply of fuel wood, which is used for cooking purposes mainly. Then timber is also obtained from the forest, which is used in furnitures, making toys, and various other tasks. Then we have bamboos, which we get from the forest, and these bamboos are also used for different purposes. For example, making furnitures. Nowadays, even the bamboo houses are also prepared in northeastern states of India. Then the rest direct benefits could be the food which we get from the forest in the form of fruits and seeds and the leaves of the different plants which are eaten by the human beings. Then forest also provides shelter to different varieties of plants as well as the animals. So they are natural homes to the plants and animals. Then rayon is also obtained from the forest, which is a yarn. Then there are different varieties or different kinds of forest products which we use in our day-to-day life, such as tannins, gums, drugs, rubber, spices, waxes, honey, horn, musk, hides, etc. And all these products are supplied by the plants and animals from the forests. So these are the direct benefits of the forest. Now we'll talk about the indirect benefits, which could be conservation of soil. We know that the roots of the trees are uh, inserted deeply into the ground, and these roots bind the soil particles very tightly. So due to which whenever there is heavy rainfall, the soil which is tightly bounded by the roots of the trees uh, will not get eroded away from that area. So they help in conservation of soil. Then forests will also help in improvement of soil or increasing the fertility of the soil, because leaf and litter in the form of decayed material when fall on the ground surface, then after its degradation by the microorganisms, it will be converted into humus, which is a fertile component of the soil. So it increases the fertility of soil. The forests will also help in control of air pollution, because all of us know that by the process of photosynthesis, all the trees, they absorb carbon dioxide from the atmosphere. So excess of carbon dioxide is taken up by the plants, and by the process of photosynthesis it is converted into starch and glucose. Uh, Apart from this, trees also absorb various kinds of harmful gases which are released due to different man-made activities. So those harmful gases are absorbed by the plants and retained inside their tissues. So in this way they control air pollution to a great extent. The forest will also help in maintaining humidity of that area, and they also support the local rainfall. We know that the leaves of the plants ooze out water in the form of water vapors by the process of transpiration, and these water vapors will maintain the humidity of that area, as well as these water vapors will form small clouds, and those clouds will shed rain water to that area. So they help in local rainfall and also maintaining the humidity of that area. So forests will also help in controlling the water flow, because any area which is a steep area, and if we have a good vegetation cover in the form of forest in that area, so the flowing water from upstream to downstream will have these trees as a barrier. So those trees will break the speed of the flowing water, and which will uh, help in control of water flow from that area. So that water will move out from that place of forest slowly, and it will get enough time uh, to have a contact with the ground soil, and this water can then easily percolate down and reach to the groundwater aquifers. So it help in controlling the flow of water, running water. Then forests also supply oxygen by the process of photosynthesis, and we know that oxygen is a lifeline to the mankind. So they help in supplying of oxygen. The forests will also help in watershed protection. Watershed areas are the areas from where any river originates. So that areas are mostly the mountain areas. If that area has good forest cover, then the the rainwater that flows through that area will get percolated down into the soil because of the cracks that is which are formed by the roots of the trees, and the roots of the trees in that area forms a very uh, dense network. Because of that, uh, the flowing water will be held by these roots for a longer period, and these roots actually work like a sponge. They hold large volume of water for a longer period, and they release it slowly and slowly. So that released water can be seen in the rivers. So in this way they help in maintaining the flow of water in the rivers. If any area, any watershed area does not has good forest cover, then most of the running water will reach to the river course, and it may bring to the floods to the downstream areas. So in this way they help in protection of the watershed areas also. So these are the direct and indirect benefits of the forests which one may see in day to day life. So the next benefit could be reducing the global warming, as I discussed before also, that forests trees absorb carbon dioxide from the atmosphere, and this carbon dioxide and other greenhouse gases are actually responsible for causing global warming. So maintaining the concentration of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere will definitely help in reducing the problem of global warming. So they help in reducing global warming by absorbing excess of carbon dioxide and other gases. So now we'll talk about the problems which are associated with the forests at present. The major problems which are associated with the forests are, first, overexploitation, and another is deforestation. Overexploitation of the forest resources are because of various causes, which can be summarized as, first, overpopulation. Because of the overpopulation, the demand of the products increases, and we have seen in the previous slides that large variety of products are obtained from the forest. So when the demand for those products will increase, then uh, the exploitation of forests will also increase. As a result of that, the forests come under the stress, and which can be seen nowadays by shrinking of the forest area across the entire globe. So the first cause of overexploitation is overpopulation. Another reason could be increased demand of the products, as I discussed in uh, the previous reason also, that because of the overpopulation there will be increased demand of the various products, which will result into overexploitation of the plants and animals uh, in the forests. Then the third reason could be developmental projects, because of the overpopulation, again we are bound to increase the number of developmental projects. These developmental projects could be either establishment of a hydropower project in any hilly area, or construction of a highway, uh, or establishment of an airport which requires a large area or of land. So these developmental projects result into clearing of the forest areas. Because of that, the forests are overexploited. Then another cause could be urbanization. We are converting the rural areas into urban areas, and for this we are using our agricultural land. So when agricultural land is encroached for urbanization, then the farmers will tend to encroach the forest area for agriculture purpose. So because of that also there is over exploitation of the forest. Along with this, whenever urbanization will be carried out, then at that time uh, large amount of resources will be utilized, which comes from the forest, for example timber, uh, charcoal, etc. So urbanization is one of the major causes of over exploitation of the forests. Then industrialization, the industrial setup also result into over exploitation of the forest, because the raw material which is used in the industries, uh, um, many of the raw materials which are used in the industries comes from the forest. For example, if we are establishing a paper industry, then wood chips are used for the manufacturing paper. So that will result into over exploitation of the trees. So these are the reasons or the causes of over exploitation of the forests. Now the deforestation, as all of us know, it is the destruction of indigenous forests as well as the woodlands for different purposes. The report says that currently near about 12 million hectares of the forests are cleared annually across the world uh, because of deforestation. The causes of the deforestation are first population explosion, which demands more and more products, and for which the trees are cut it down. Then forest fire may also result into deforestation because it brings damage and destruction to the uh, trees as well as the vegetation growing in the forest. Then overgrazing is another reason of the deforestation. And along with this pest attack, the attack of different kinds of insects and pests to the leaves and the stems as well as the roots of the trees will also result into destruction of trees. Then natural forces such as storms and lightning, floods, drought, etc., is also responsible for causing deforestation in any area. So these are the problems associated with the forests and their causes. Now we'll talk about the effects of deforestation. The effects of the deforestation can be seen as first the habitat destruction of the plants and animals, then soil erosion, because if there will be no dense vegetation in any area, then the soil of that area will get loosened, and if water flows to such areas, it will carry the top layer of the soil along with it, leading to erosion of the soil. Then it will also result into reduced oxygen supply, because we know that forests are the supplier of oxygen to the environment, and less number of trees will result into less supply of oxygen. It will also lead to increase in the air, water, soil and noise pollution, because the trees help in controlling air, water, soil and noise pollution. So a decrease in the number of trees will result into increase in these kinds of pollution. Then the deforestation will also result into reduced supply of forest products, and there will be loss of biodiversity also because of the deforestation. Then there will be loss of cultural diversity also, because we know that various kinds of plants and animals are also associated with our culture. For example, in Hindu culture we worship number of trees such as banyan trees, mango trees and tulsi plant and many such other plants also. And if there will be deforestation, then there will be loss of this cultural diversity or cultural connection. So that's one of the effect of deforestation. Another effect could be decline in the ecotourism, because we know that most of the tourists, they love to move to the places which are naturally rich and have a pleasant weather, and most of the time these are forest sites. So deforestation will result into less interest of tourists to these areas. Then we have reduction in the supply of fuel wood because of deforestation. Then there could be deterioration of the quality of life, because forests are the areas which provide quality life to the people, and deforestation will result into decrease or deterioration in this quality of life. Then the deforestation will also lead to lowering of groundwater table, because wherever we have good vegetation, the groundwater table of that area is seen very high. So if the vegetation cover will decrease because of deforestation, it will result into lowering of the groundwater table. Then floods and droughts can also be seen to the areas which are affected because of deforestation. It will also result into increase in carbon dioxide level because trees are responsible for absorbing CO2 level by the process of photosynthesis, and the less number of trees will result into will less number of trees will result into less absorption of carbon dioxide. Then it will also lead to increase in the global warming, which is related with the absorption of carbon dioxide, and more landslides can also be seen to the areas where deforestation is very prominent, and the area having deforestation would be facing the dry weather because of less transpiration process, and it will also result into less rainfall. So these are some of the effects of deforestation. In the next lecture we will talk about the other natural resources. So that was all about today's lecture. Thank you.